Hello, dear listeners. Back again on ToastTalks with CoachBusi. Today, I have my very own club president, a Toastmaster, Wadzanayi Pendeka. Welcome to Toast Talks with Coach Busi. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Coach Wissy? And thank you so much for having me today. I'm super excited. I will not lie.
It's been a minute coming, but it's happening today.
Finally, yes.
You know, I think the listeners have this thing that, oh, Coach Busi must be a little bit eccentric a bit, but I can hardly even stand it when I'm about to do a recording. I want to dance. I am excited. I keep telling anyone who listens, this is a happy place for me. Can you tell? Can you
I can
tell?
feel you. I can feel you. I wanted to ask, what are you on? But I know the energies are giving. Like they say these
You
days, the
know,
energy is giving.
it's giving. All right, let's calm down and have a toast talk with Wadzi Pendeke. Wadzi, tell us about your journey to becoming a Toastmaster. How did you end up in this Toastmaster world, of which you are now area director and club president? Where is the genesis? Let's go back to the very beginning. What is your genesis story for becoming a Toastmaster?
I'll tell you the honest truth, Coach Wissy. Thank you so much. I never imagined I would be here. I would be a Toastmaster. I would be speaking. I would be leading a great president, distinguished club, and 5 more clubs this year as an area director. I did not dream about this. I'll tell you this because I think I am an introvert, but I've always enjoyed listening to people speak. And every time, to be honest, I'll tell you, I even interviewed for a radio broadcasting position, but I never thought I would see it through. I didn't get through, and I said to myself, no, it wasn't for me. Maybe I was just being too ambitious. So those years went by. I never thought I was going to do anything that I would be enjoying doing like I'm doing now. I have friends who have been in Toastmasters. And even when I was younger, I would hear people saying Toastmasters this, Toastmasters that. I did not even think of any of that. Fast forward a few years when I now could identify with myself to say this is the path that I want to choose. My friends, I have 4 friends who had been in Toastmasters, I think, for a year, and one particular one had said, no, this is my dream for 40 years, so I'm going to take up a challenge. I said, okay, we'll just watch and see what's going to happen. She took it up. She told me, I'm an SAA, I'm a club secretary. This is what we are doing. You should come. I said, no, please leave me alone. I'll watch. So for years, I'm telling you, years went by. I did not even bother. I could just hear, no, we're going for a Toastmasters meeting. And I was like, you guys are so busy. But for what? Is it even translating? They told me, no, you're going to gain experience in this. They had a story. They had a beautiful story. So I said to myself, what's happening to me? There were a couple of things that really pushed me. I love challenges. And even at work, I had often told my supervisor that when I don't get something new to do in the new year, I feel like I'm not doing anything, I'm not contributing. And sometimes I feel like I could be the easy one to take out of the team. So every year I made a pact with myself that I am going to do something for myself, personal development and personal growth. And I'm also going to do something at work that is different from what I was doing from the previous year. And guess what? In 2022, this was my it. I said, I'm going to join Toastmasters. So I called up on my friends. Where am I going to go? They told me, we'll put you in a Friends of Global Women Toastmasters. And you'll sit
Shout
there.
out, shout out
Yes,
to global
yes, yes.
women.
They told me, just watch what's happening. I did not follow, I'll be very honest. But I then remembered that I vowed to myself that I needed to do something for me. So I said, Simiso called me the other day and said, are you ready? We were getting into a new term. So October is a very special time for me. We're getting into a new year. She says to me, are you still up for Toastmasters? I said, yes. I was in the middle of something. I said, yes. She says, I'm going to send you forms. And then I thought, I think she's moving too fast for me. But then I said to myself, but I committed. She sent the forms. She said, oh, so we need to pay. How do you think we should do this? I don't have an active account. I said to her, my Stanbic account is active. It has money. Should I pay now? She says, pay. That's how I
Woohoo!
became a Toastmaster. Everything that happened after that is, I can't even begin to imagine how I then got to where I am, president and area director. But the support, I'll just tell you, has been amazing. And I'm happy. I'm in a place where I can say I do belong. In a nutshell, I think that's how I got to where I am right now.
Wow. Wow. Now, this is exciting for me because key things come up. You were invited. No, you knew about Toastmasters. You were invited. You were in a circle, in a community where people already pumping up Toastmasters, but you were still not joining. However, when you took yourself seriously and you made a pact with yourself, you were now ready. I hope someone is listening who knows that there is a certain time when things shift for you and you have to take yourself seriously and you have to make that move. If you hadn't, it would be a different story. Now, because we are in the same club, I've heard you talk about how this has influenced your work and career side. Do you want to tell dear listeners a little bit about what has happened in your career field just as recently as you joined Toastmasters?
Thank
Tell
you
the
so
dear
much
listeners.
once again. Thank you so much once again, CoachBusi. I'll tell you this. Like I've said, I've been an introvert. So even at work, I knew exactly what I brought to the table, but I would never show it off. You know how it is at work. You've got people who will bring it and will rub it in your face. I was not that person. I still am that person who prefers to work behind the scenes, pushing the buttons there, but making sure the team wins. So I say to myself, okay, I'm in the middle of this team because I am a project coordinator, program coordinator, actually. I work with a team of 10 other people, and I am the only one. Well, it's the two of us, our supervisor and me, who are in the middle of everyone. So we get to interact directly with other colleagues. I said to myself, I could bring more to this. It can't just be about me knowing what development projects we have and how we can continue to push our agenda and how we can coordinate so that we are also good in our books with our stakeholders and the outside world, our bilateral agreements. I say to myself, there should be something. So you remember when I told you about me wanting to learn something new, I said, this is the time. I need to do it now.
Damn.
Went to my supervisor. I said, I need something new. I need something fresh. But I then thought to myself, I do not quite have the confidence. I have it, but I do not, it's not backed up by something. It needs to be polished. This was me. I said, it has to be polished so that it comes out. I was a rough diamond. That's what I can say. Not that I didn't know what I
Nicely
was
put.
doing. I was a rough diamond. I joined Toastmasters and I realized the ball game is you've got support. So whatever you're going to write, because my work involves a lot of writing, a lot of editing, yes, and a lot of engagement with other people. And in my previous years with other organizations, I was also mentoring young people. So I said, this is all that Toastmasters has. Why can't I harness on this energy and this power that it can give me and then apply it in my work? I'll tell you, CoachBusi, the quality of the work that I was now producing or that I am producing now is on another level. I am actually, yes. And I am also currently chairing a thematic area for, we've got 3 thematic areas in my organization. So one of them is human rights, democracy, gender, and SRHR. That's the one I'm chairing. And I'll tell you, it's been amazing sitting on that seat and driving things. Some things I'll tell you, I did not even have an idea what we were talking about when I was in the back seat. But the moment I became chair, I ignited something in my mind that, hello,
come on now.
You are the chair. You are the chair. You are running this thing. How are you going to run it? And I said, of course, like a president. I need to run it like a president. So then I was the VPE, but I'll tell you, I could feel that there is so much that I'm gaining. The role, that was my first role. It was one of the most demanding roles. It took everything away from me, and I questioned certain things, but I also grew in a lot of areas. My management with people, and sometimes you just wink at certain things and know that, you know what, girl, as long as you know what you bring to the table, you will run this thing and it will excel. And I'll tell you, with so much pride, Global Women Extraordinaire was president distinguished. We pushed them goals, and here we are today celebrating.
Awesome. I love that. I love that. This personal growth is not just in career, it's not just personal. It influences so much around you. Now you're a mom of twins.
I am.
The
and
energy.
A boy who's 10 as well. There's a 10-year-old.
And a hubby needing attention. All with you being Madam President, Madam Area Director, and chairing those things at work. But tell me how Toastmasters has helped you in organizing and in timekeeping and in your ability to be able to juggle these very important roles. I have not talked about your social network. I mean, you have friends, you have moms, you have relatives that still need your attention. But girl, I can testify you are shining in all these. We're not yet going to talk about your TikTok channel, but tell me how this is all happening. It wasn't all together that way before, but since 2022, there has been a radical shift. Give us some insight as to how we are here.
So, CoachBusi, I have always been a very organized person, that I will tell you. I am one person who, at the end of my day, I've got my to-do list for tomorrow. So the gears shifted when I became president and area director. I have no idea why I even accepted to be coerced in such a position where I would have so many meetings. Just yesterday, I was sharing with a colleague. I said, look at my calendar. I took a screenshot of my Google Calendar. I said, look at this. Who in their right mind has a meeting either in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening of any day? There is not a day that I'm not having a meeting. If I'm not having a lunch meeting, I have an evening meeting. If it's not an evening meeting, I'm speaking to one of the members in the morning. We've got an hour to chat. So I say to myself, what did I get myself into? But guess what? We work under pressure. Like we always say when we get into new jobs, I thrive under pressure. And I've learned and grown to be able to manage that pressure. I'm one person who writes down a lot of things. Either I'm writing on my phone, I'm writing on my computer. When I'm in a meeting, I've got a to-do list going on for Toastmasters or for my social life so that when I sit back at my desk, I'm able to then get down to that and it forms part of my day. I've learned that getting organized is the only way you're going to get out of this alive. If you're not
Bam.
organized, you're going to miss goals. So here, what I do on my typical Monday morning, I have a list of members from the club that I have to catch up with. Either they've done their speech in the last week and we need to plan for their next project, or I just haven't spoken to them in a while. I have two ladies that I'm actually meeting with for coffee on Monday because I think they need that and they've been doing so well. So they still want. One is actually saying, I need to ask you to be my official mentor. I laughed. I chuckled. I said, girl, you don't know what you're asking for, but I'm
you
coming.
asking? Let's do coffee. I'm not sure about the other bit, but let's do coffee.
Exactly. So I've realized that I needed to get more organized. In as much as I was organized, I needed to get more organized. My typical day, like I say, my first hour starts with Toastmasters because the moment I leave that behind, work will definitely go and take things out of the way. And I got advice from now district director, Zivai Matondo. She told me that you make Toastmasters your lifestyle. And I'm telling you, when I took that, I remembered that even when I'm going to organize an event at work, this has to be a project. I need to look at my projects to see where is this going to fit in? Who is going to evaluate this? I need to give a speech on this. I learned that and I had to run with it. And I'll tell you, it has made my life easy. I remember the first 2 weeks after appointment, I said to myself, no, we are not doing this. Why am I even putting myself under so much pressure? But when I remembered the benefits and what I've already gained so far in my previous year in Toastmasters, I said, no, we can't go back now. And remember also, you've got people who are looking at you. One lady said to me, one of our newest members said to me, I'm so scared. I don't even know. I can't speak. I said, girl, I came here not knowing what to say. And she said, no, you look so polished. I said, I put in the work. In Toastmasters, you have to put in the work. You need to want to do this and you need to put in the work. If you don't work, your $60 will just fly by. And imagine you could have bought your mom some groceries. Things are tough back here in Zimbabwe. It's fuel money for 2 weeks for me and I will be set. But I can't. And you know what? With Toastmasters, we are paying $10 a day. I asked one lady who's very famous on LinkedIn, who's a very good speaker, and I was thinking, we need this lady to just come and speak with us in our exco, just to get us in the zone. I asked her, is it possible for you to come and speak to us for just 30 minutes? She says, no, perfectly fine. What's your date? I gave her the date that I was thinking. Do you know how much she charged? $600. I said, wow.
Yes, ma'am. For 30 minutes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, just for 30 minutes. And in Toastmasters, I'm paying $60 for 6 months. So I said, no.
For 6 months, $10 a month.
Imagine.
Break it down to daily. It's minuscule.
Imagine the networks, the mingling. I am enjoying. I'm having the time of my life. I've been to Angola. I've been to Namibia. I've been to Botswana. I've been to Tanzania. I've been to the US, sitting online and doing my projects. And I've met amazing people I would never ordinarily meet where I am in my usual space. So this is Toastmasters for you. Yeah.
This is Toastmasters. I like that where you get to. This is Toastmasters for you. You mentioned a key point which I would want to really hone in and hammer in on. When you said your mentee said, I am scared. And she was surprised that you were this polished, but you didn't start like that. There's one thing that I love when I speak to new people wanting to come to Toastmasters and they have that same mentality. I keep saying, people go to a hospital because they need help, not because they are well. When they are coming
Exactly.
out, they can be
Exactly.
well, but as they are entering in, they need help. So, this is a hospital for confidence building, for polishing your public speaking, for your grammar, getting to understand how to pronounce, put punctuations, presentation. If you are title privileged, if I really want you to listen keenly to what I'm going to tell you next, how I will lower my voice, how I will then make it exciting, stand back and get you to come in. This is a hospital for those kind of things. Toastmaster Wazi, tell me about your favorite TikTok that you have put out on your channel. Just in the next 1 to 2 minutes. What TikTok did you put out? Why? And why is it your favorite?
Wow, there you're putting me on the spotlight, but since it's
Yes,
out
ma'am.
there, I might as well speak about it.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll tell you this. There is one TikTok I really did, and I think it's something that I resonate with. It's the TikTok about how we profile people and yet we don't know them. I've often said that I've got a very active imagination, and when I see people, I build up a story. Even when we haven't spoken, I build up a story. But a lot of times, I want to remind myself that maybe my story is wrong because these are just impressions. So I
Yep.
did that TikTok when I realized that there is so much people have inside that we judge them because of what we see on the outside without speaking to them. And yet
Mm,
everybody has a story. They have a story of how they got to where they are, how they behave the way they are. There is a
mm,
story behind that. So I've realized that so many times we have a story, and sometimes you might not even meet them, but remember you've already profiled them to be maybe a negative person, and yet you haven't spoken to them. So when you
right.
hear somebody say, but you should have talked to that lady, she's a wealth of inspiration. And I'm thinking, with the way she was just looking at people like that, I doubt. So we miss out on a lot of opportunities because we
Mm,
haven't tapped into knowing people, which is one thing that I've always told myself now to say, let me be not quick to judge somebody before I've spoken to them. And sometimes I always tell even my siblings that no TMI for me. I don't want too much information because by the time I get to meet them, I already have a preconceived idea to say,
sure.
CoachBusi, they told me she's such a snob. So when I get to CoachBusi, I'm already thinking, what is she going to tell me besides you're a snob? And maybe she was brought up in a rich family and she doesn't want to talk to us poor people. I already have a story which is really
Right.
not even a true story. And
Sure.
profiling is okay when you keep it in your mind. But when you then put it out there on people without even confirming that, it can even damage a reputation. Imagine if I move
Absolutely.
now and say, you know, I think she's such a bad person. The next person is going to take that. And this is how rumors even spread. I always tell
Come on.
people that, yeah, what you see is what you get is could be true to some extent, but take time to know people. You'll be amazed what the story is behind the person you're looking at. So yeah, that's one
That,
of my favorite TikToks. I can resonate with
I
that.
love that. And I watched that TikTok and I really, that one brought it home. You made it so clear. And as I was watching, I was thinking again of the Toastmaster skills that you had incorporated in that. Just on that, I'm not sure if you've watched, oh, I said, if I had an R counter, they would have counted that. However, no R counters. This is a conversation. I'm not giving a speech. Chimamanda has a speech, The Danger of a Single Story. That speech is one that I think everybody needs to listen to because it brings home exactly the point that you've just
I need
made.
to read that. Shimamanda is a favorite writer of mine. I can go on and on with her books. Her English is English.
Whoa, her English is really English. That speech, though,
Is
I believe that is a speech you want to listen to. That the danger of a single story, an amazing
I
presentation that
need
she did.
to. I need to. I need to.
Madame President, Madame AD, Toastmaster Wadzi, my friend, my sidekick in Global Women Extraordinaire, for taking the time to come in your busy schedule. Thank you for having put this meeting as a priority on your calendar. Thank you for bringing your authentic story. Thank you for encouraging someone who is sitting on the sidelines and is wondering, what is the rave about Toastmasters? Thank you so much for coming. I really
You,
appreciate you.
you are welcome, Coach Wise. And I think people need to know that Toastmasters is the thing now. If you're not a Toastmaster, what are you? What are you? In this world where you need all the skills, this is the opportunity to just get the skills for free. This is free. You just need to put in the work, and you'll be
That's it.
amazed at how you will turn out. I never saw myself where I am right now, and this is stuff I can put on my CV confidently.
There
And
you
I'm
go.
going to collect my pins, by the way. I could have been showing them off right now. I will be
Mine are
collecting my
coming.
pins.
Hmm. In the future episodes, I'm going to have mine too. But for now, we don't
Yes.
stop. Somebody said complexity is the enemy to execution when you make things too complex.
True,
I could
true,
wait to have a
true,
perfect podcast. I could wait until I have all my
true.
pins. I could have waited until I was already a distinguished Toastmaster. But hey, strike while the iron is hot. So
Yes,
today is today, and we have made good use
yes,
of
yes,
today.
yes.
Toastmaster Wati, thank you. Dear listeners,
Thank
I
you
told
so
you this was going to be fun. If I know you caught one thing, at least one thing that is encouraging you, if you are already a Toastmaster, that is reminding you of what you can do with your Toastmaster subscriptions if you're a Toastmaster. And if you're not a Toastmaster, I have one question for you. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? I will see you when you have become a Toastmaster and you are bringing your story to Toast Talks with Coach Busi. And on that note, dear listeners and my guest, Wadzi, adios, goodbye, until the next time.